Howdy, folks. I'm Mark, and today I am joined by Landry Smith, Dalton Fuller, Billie Cox, and newcomer Jake Traugott. They're not here right now, but they will be joining in just a bit, which is my past, your future, whatever. But thanks to all of them for joining me for this short talk about video games. And you are listening to Quick Play. So, what we just did is we drafted a bunch of games for Fantasy Critic. And what that is we act as a bunch of savvy publishers picking up games for our team to publish and make us lots of money. The better that the games score on Open Critic, the more points we get. So whoever has the most points at the end of the year, they're the winner. What we're each hoping is that we picked the cream of the crop of 2025 games. Well, we are picking 10 games total, but we only drafted 4 of our 10. The other 6 will get picked up throughout the year. Anyway, if you want to learn more about it, check out Fantasy Critic. That's all there. But what we're doing today for this episode is talking through the games we picked and chatting about the ones that we are personally invested in. 2 of the things you ought to know about this. One, for the most part, the games that we drafted have to be full new games. So it can't be a remaster or a basic remake or DLC or even a yearly installment like Madden, except we each have one slot of the 10 games where the game can be one of those. It's called a flex pick. So some of us picked that, some of us didn't. But number 2, we each chose a counter pick, which we had to do to select one game that's been drafted to bet against, guessing that it won't review well. In some cases, it may just be we don't think it's going to come out this year. And that is actually a good thing for the counter picker. I'd say all this because so you can get all these references. But you don't really need to know. We're just talking about the games we're excited about, what we're looking forward to. And who knows, that draft itself, that may go up as a little bonus episode for you later on. A few guys had to drop off. We had Jake Martin join us, and we had Matthew Pilkington also join us. They could not make this episode, and Parker Deal auto drafted, so but he was putting down a small child. So that happens. We're dads, we get it. But enjoy this episode with a few of these guys. Let's get right into it. Okay, let's just do it. All right. So first up in our list here was Landry Smith. Landry, you want to introduce your publisher, the games you picked, and then any of the games that you are most personally excited about?
Yeah, so my publisher is Double Bogey after my incredible golf game. And I chose Monster Hunter Wilds at the first draft pick. So that was like the number one overall pick. Essentially, it was kind of a no-brainer. We know it's coming out early 24. It's supposed to be good. Avowed is my second pick. And then Assassin's Creed Shadows, which drew some ill commentary from the crowds. But I
Just
still
surprised.
maintain that like it's going to be in the 80s. I felt like it was a pretty safe to be in that 80 range. Most of the Assassin's Creed releases are. I
Okay.
don't think it has a lot of hopes for the 90 territory, but it's my third pick. I just needed to score relatively well. And then my fourth pick is the one I am excited about. I won't play the other 3 games because I'm not super interested in those. I really don't like the Ubisoft style of games. Avowed looks kind of like Skyrim, but I would just play Skyrim again instead of that. And then Monster Hunter
Sure.
Wilds, a little too complex, I think, for me to get into at this stage of my life. So Mina the Hollower is the next game I picked. I think this has a real shot at being the highest scoring game that I picked. It's from Yacht Club
Mm-hmm.
Games. They have a phenomenal track record of making really awesome indie titles. And this is like a 2D top down Zelda like, much in the vein of like Link's Awakening or Link to the Past. And that is exactly up my alley. So, pretty excited for that. My final counter pick was the unannounced mainline 3D Mario platformer. And
Oh,
I
dang.
chose that simply because if it doesn't come out, I'm going to get a 0 for my counter pick, which I think is the strongest play. It also locks you in, Mark, to
It's
that
true.
choice once we hear about the announcement for the Switch and all of the games coming for it. And if that game does come out, I will not even be upset because that just means I get to play a Mario 3D platformer, and that's going to be amazing.
Fair enough. Well, there you go. It's a bold pick. All right. Well, thank you for sharing there. Next up was Matthew, he had to hop off, but he picked Hollow Knight Silk Song, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, South of Midnight, and Judas. And then he counterpicked Elden Ring Night Rain, which was a bit of a surprise. Um, Followed up by Matthew was Dalton. Dalton, want to run us through your picks here?
Yeah, so I picked third, and somehow it was still on the board, even though it's still a little bit of a gamble. I took Grand Theft Auto 6. Hopefully it comes out. And then coming back
Mhm.
around, had to wait a while, third all the way back down. I
Right.
took Doom of the Dark Ages, which I think is crazy as this to say with on the team that picked Grand Theft Auto 6 is probably the game I'm most excited for on this list, on my own
Nice.
list. Uh, I love the mo two most recent Doom games. I think they're so fun. I love the like murder puzzle aspect of them, and I really like that they're like, what are we gonna do for another one? Like we kind of like hit our end. They're like, cool. We'll just completely change it. We'll make it,
Yeah.
more melee focused. We'll put it in olden times. And so I don't know. I just think I just think they don't miss. Like if nothing else, that game is gonna be extremely fun to play. So I can't wait for that. Next, I picked Citizen Sleeper 2, Star Wars Vector. That was more of just a points play. Never
Sure.
played Citizen Sleeper 1, if I'm being honest, but I know people really loved it, and it's coming out soon. So, and then finally, my final pick for this week was, or this time, was 2XKO, the new fighting game from Riot. Just never bet against Riot to make a high-scoring video game. Whether I play
That's
it or
fair.
not, who knows? But those games are always quality. And then my final counter pick was Judas, which honestly mostly just counter pick because I don't think it'll come out this year. I think they've been a little quiet on it. And even if it does, I could see like I think we've seen a lot of these like old masters like kind of make their old game again and to a lot of mixed results. So I
Sure.
don't fully buy into the fact that that game will be good if it does come out.
Sure. Well, nice. Yeah, Doom: The Dark Ages was on my short list, but I did not get to it in time. So good on you. Next up was myself with my publisher Quick Pro Quo. I picked the unannounced mainline 3D Mario platformer, which will definitely come out. Next up was Split Fiction, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, and then we have a flex pick that could be a remake or a remaster, director's cut, or whatever. I went with Shovel Knight, Shovel Hope DX for that. And my counter pick was Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which Matthew picked. Obviously, the most excited I am is for whatever Mario game is coming next. I don't really know what else to say about that one. So I am also really excited for Split Fiction. This is from the developer from It Takes Two. It's another two-person game. I had a great time playing It Takes Two with my wife, and so I'm hoping this game could be. Yeah, it's very appropriate, but it worked out well. Um, Split Fiction uh, looks really fun. I'm really excited about it. It's yeah, two authors get melded into each other's worlds, and so it's a cool combination of fantasy and sci-fi. I think it seems promising. I
It
hope
looks
they
super
can.
cool.
Yeah, I hope they can pull the trick off twice. Next up then was Jake Martin, who had to run to sleep. He picked Elden Ring Night Rain, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, an unannounced next mainline Mario Kart. And then for his flex pick, he went with Dave the Diver in the Jungle, that DLC, and he counterpicked Date Everything! Exclamation point. Um, One person did pick Date Everything, and that was Billy, who's up next here. Billy, you want to introduce your picks?
Yeah, so I just picked the safest games that you could actually
Yeah.
pick.
What costs for a
Date
run?
Everything is a simple one. That's going to review very high. It comes out on February 14th, Valentine's Day, the day of love. My only concern is people's just going to be too much in love to review it.
No,
Yeah.
true.
Uh, I think
It's gonna get
Dynasty
automatic zero.
Warriors is going to come to form again. We're in a resurgence of like games, so I feel good for Origins. And then Pokemon Legends ZA had to pick it. And
Of
then I've
course.
been on such
Brand.
a like a dragon kick that I picked Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii as well. I'm just going with my game taste because my game taste is better than everyone else, so it's going to reflect in this game.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. You gotta respect it. Next up then was Parker Deal, who auto drafted his picks as he was trying to get his child to bed, but he went with Ghost of Yote, Sid Meier's Civilization 7, Claire Obscure Expedition 33, and then has Metal Gear Solid Delta in his flex pick. It automatically counterpicked Hollow Knight Silk Song for him. I think a lot of people counterpicked that just on the doubts it'll come out. I'll check with him if he wants to actually keep that or not. But so far, according to Fantasy Critic, he is the strongest lineup. So we will see what happens next. But finally, here at the end, we have Jake. Is it Traugott? Can you say your last name? And I apologize. I'm trying to read it.
Traugott. Yeah.
Traugott. Wow, that's way easier than I thought. Welcome to the podcast. Thanks
Hey.
for being here. You're first timer. But Jake, you want to
Yeah.
tell us about your publisher and your picks?
So I named my publisher Pay for Play Open to Bribes.
Very nice.
And
Yeah.
that I really just wanted to convey that I was open for bribes. Just put that out there that, like whatever you guys were willing to pay, I was willing to sabotage.
Put his Venmo over him.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Just
Link will be in the
you can have it
description.
cycling
Yeah.
across here.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was the main strategy coming in. Secondary strategy was to pick good picks. So the first pick I had Death Stranding 2 on the beach. I think you don't want to bet with Kojima. I think he's got some diehard fans.
That's true.
He's out there doing what he wants to make, and I think he did incorporate a lot of what he wanted to do with Death Stranding 1 into Death Stranding 2. Have I played them? No. But
What a
I
game.
own it at least
The
like
people
3 or
love
4 times on my Steam Deck because they give it out for free constantly.
Yeah, they do.
Outer Worlds 2, this is the second most likely game that I would play because I played the first, and I'm a huge Fallout type fan. And I think that it looks stunning from the trailers. I think it looks like it's going to have an engaging story. The first one I think felt a little too, I guess, small in scope for an open world.
Sure.
To put it like that. Third one, FBC Firebreak. I've been a huge Remedy fan as of late. I started playing Alan Wake last year and started playing Alan Wake 2 recently, and it's captured me entirely. So I'm really excited for FBC Firebreak. I see the developers making deals out there with Annapurna so that they can make the games that they want to make, and I think that they wouldn't put something out there that they didn't believe in.
Sure. Yeah.
My flex pick, EA Sports College Football 26. I think last year was an explosive growth. I think they really gave the fans what they wanted, and I think they took a lot of that feedback and probably implemented it in the second one.
Nice.
And then my counter pick, Assassin's Creed Shadows, because I've been burned too many times by an Assassin's Creed game. I cannot wait to pick it up for $10 2 months after it comes out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
On your Steam Deck.
That is definitely the way to shop Ubisoft. I mean, if you're buying a Ubisoft game day one, then you're a sucker.
It's true.
Well, there you go. Well, guys, thanks for being here for a kind of this little impromptu episode as we close out our draft. Want to ask, or where else are you out on the internet? If you have places you want to shout out, places you're at. If I can remember this order here. Landry, will you say where you're at first?
Yeah, we do. Jake and I do a monthly podcast called Bitcast, and it's on all podcast services. You were on the last episode, and that should be releasing any day now. So, a nice kind of year in review episode. If you haven't gotten all of your best video games of the year lists, content fill, you can check that episode out. Probably dropping tomorrow.
Very nice. Dalton, where are you at?
I'm gonna keep in theme with the last time I was on this episode, where it's just follow me on Letterboxd, read my opinions about movies. At Calcifuller on Letterboxd, CALCIFULLER.
I will do that right now, Dalton. But you have to follow me as well.
Absolutely.
I just watched Conclave last night. Have you seen that one?
I have.
I thought it was like a 5-star film up until the last scene, and it dropped a star for me. I just thought that was a little like on the nose.
It's a buck wild ending. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like wow, that was kind of out of left field.
Yeah.
So that left me thinking, obviously, But overall, just visually stunning film.
Yeah, the movie does look
fun,
really good.
tightly paced, good stuff.
I liked it too.
Very nice. Billy, where are you at now?
Mostly just Discord, but don't private message me.
Don't find him. Doesn't like that.
I'll
And finally,
find you. Don't worry about it.
of course. Jake, how about you? Where can people find you on the internet?
I would say follow me on Letterboxd. I feel
There
like
you
that's the only social that I can steal from other guests on this show.
Uh,
So yeah, at Jake Chillenhall,
It's a great screen.
ChymenHaal. You guys know how to spell Jake. Um, and I'll be on a future episode of In Real Time. I'm just waiting on the invite.
ouch.
There you go.
RIP. That
Well,
hurts.
everyone, let's see if I can figure out the outro of this. Well, thank you all for listening in. You can follow us on the major podcasting services or on YouTube. You can press all the good buttons while you're there. If you enjoy the conversation, you can find us on the proper socials at Quickly Pod and let us know what's the 2025 game that you most believe in for this year. That's all the time we have for today. Thanks. Bye.